Hey, you! Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. I'm glad you could join us because, as you know, it is the only podcast that is always an Instant Classic. And that's why you're here. Or you were just kind of stumbling around on YouTube and found this and you were like, I'm bored, I'm going to watch it anyway. But stick around, maybe you'll become a fan. I don't know. We're talking about, Tough Enough, so that's cool. So I did miss the episode last week. Unfortunately, I was away. I was volunteering last week, so I was away, like I said. But we got some kind of big news in Tough Enough. Mata was eliminated. I still can't comprehend that. Like, Mata, what? He was my pick basically. It was him and either Josh or Tanner. Those three kind of felt like they had an it factor to them, especially Mana. He had the character down. He was a big guy. So that was surprising. And our new host, because of what happened with Hulk Hogan, is The Miz. And I can't believe on his first episode, he uses his one save. You get one save per season, and he uses it. What? And he used it on Amanda because she's hot. I'm so done. I'm done. Like, I don't know. But yeah. So I haven't even really watched the full episode yet from last week, and I don't think I want to now because let's get to this week's episode, shall we? So we open up with they're in the barracks. They all, kind of talk about how basically no one is safe now, and how the Miz used his one save on Amanda because, like I said, she's hot. I don't see it, but whatever. And he's married, so anyway. They also talk about a little bit about ZZ being lazy, which was kind of a focal point of this episode. Just dogging on my boy ZZ, calling him lazy. He's a big guy. Let him go. Come on now. Anyway, any thoughts on that opening segment in the barracks?
When I looked at it, I was just laughing. Oh, sorry, but when I was watching this and I was laughing a little bit because I was like, how they gonna be hating on my boy ZZ? And then when ZZ said he was thick, I don't know if anyone else caught that, but I caught it. And I was like, I was like, thick of all words you could have used, big boned, any of those other words. You decided to go, with thick. Okay, all right then. But yeah, they're just dogging on him, and I'm like, come on, man, come on, quit hating on the man. Just because you don't have any character doesn't mean ZZ doesn't have a character. Come on, hating. It's a shame.
Yes, thick. Oh man. Let's just get to the challenge because that just so the first challenge, both challenges this week were based on teamwork. So they were basically teamed up, groups of two, and they had to kind of put all of the moves that they've learned so far, like five that they've learned so far, together. Working together in the ring. So we had Tanner and ZZ. I will say that ZZ really did kind of look lazy and sloppy in this. So I I still love ZZ. I can't completely be like, yeah, he's lazy, but whatever. So we had next we had Sarah Lee and Gigi. I felt like these two just didn't really work well together in general. They don't like each other, and they don't. I don't know. You have to be able to work together with somebody anyway, even if you don't like them. But they're still. I don't know. They just didn't work well together. So next we get Chelsea and Amanda. Um, they were definitely not on the same page. Chelsea was kind of trying to sell when I know she said she has, prior history, training in wrestling, but she has no business even beginning to try and sell at this point. She needs to continue to learn how to wrestle. You need to learn how to wrestle before you can even think about learning how to sell. You have to know how to do the move correctly before you can try to, sell it. That bothered me a little bit. And then we got Josh and Tanner, which was just awesome. This actually could have been part of a match, I felt like. They just worked really well together. Any thoughts on this first challenge?
Yeah. Um, one thing, as far as you were talking about Chelsea, right, with the selling thing. One thing I do disagree with you on that one, just because if she had, a lot of times coming in, if you have experience doing it, you're gonna revert back to your old stuff, what you've learned before, and try. And I felt like she was more, not necessarily selling, but I felt like she was just showing showmanship, which is what they've told them to do in the past. So I kind of um, take up for her in that regard, because I felt like she was just trying to show a little bit more showmanship, and and plus she's done it before, and that's kind of an issue that a lot of the trainers have in WWE and with Tough Enough anyway, is that when you do have experience and you show you kind of showcase your experience, is an issue, because I guess I don't know what it is, but I guess you haven't learned it yet, so you can't do it right now. So that was one of the things that I didn't really understand, because I was just like, well, she has experience wrestling, so she's gonna try to make the stuff look good, and she's gonna try to kind of have showmanship too, just because that's what they've been taught before. Um, ZZ just looked like he was going through the motions in this. This is the first time I'd ever seen ZZ just seem like he's going through the motions. It just seemed like it was like, well, time, to go in the ring today. It felt that way. I don't know if that was the way it was just portrayed, but just watching it, it seemed like that's just how it felt. With Sarah almost dropping Gigi on her head, even when I watched it, I was like, doesn't really look like she landed anywhere near her head. Um, so I don't know about that. Maybe that was just like a plea to get Sarah out or something. I'm not really sure. And I love Gigi, so I didn't understand that really. And Tanner and Josh looked really good. Both of them. I feel like Josh looked like what he was supposed to look like, as far as like he was the way he went into it. He looked like the shoulder blocks were strong, and Tanner was taking them well. I liked it. It was just all around they worked together really well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just, with the Chelsea situation, I just kind of felt like that's just how it always is. Even the girl from 2011, I don't remember her name, but she tried to use some of the stuff she had learned too, even though she was absolutely horrible. But she tried to use some of the stuff she had learned before too. So I feel like that's just kind of how you come into something like this. If you know what you're doing to a certain degree, you do kind of use that stuff you've learned before. And sometimes it's just breaking that habit.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, I feel like at this point, if you're a fan of WWE and you've watched the past Tough Enough seasons, you know that, unless you're a guy like, Finn Balor or Kevin Owens or, Sami Zayn, who are really big in like the indies, WWE is going to take you in and they want to completely kind of wipe you clean and build you up in the WWE, wrestling, because like they've said it, there's professional wrestling and then there's WWE wrestling, and they're, to them it's completely different. So they want to kind of, and I can't completely, yell at Chelsea because, if you do learn something, you kind of, it gets into your system and you kind of automatically go to it. But I feel like she was kind of making Amanda look a little bit bad, trying to oversell. But and I feel like I don't know how much experience she's had in training. Like I don't know how long she was training before that. So I don't know if she was really to the point where she was learning to sell before, and if so, why would she leave and come to? I don't know. I would have just, if she was that far along, I would have just stayed where she was, unless she's specifically trying to get this 125,000 whatever contract, which I don't know. But anyway, moving on. I'm sure that'll be some sort of video we'll do in the future. But so next, they go back to the barracks, and this was the awkward part of the episode. Josh and Tanner playing pool. Josh basically is trying to teach Tanner how to talk to women. I have no words for this segment at all. Do you have any thoughts? Because I
mean, I just feel like Josh could have went on and just put the whole icing on the cake. If you ever watch Tough Talk, Josh is always calling whoever's hosting it babe. He's like, yeah, babe. It's just his thing. He might as well should just threw that out there. This was just awkward. Like at first, it was kind of cool, like that brotherly thing. But then, after like the first 8 seconds, I was like, okay, we can stop now. We're good. I think we got it, because it was just awkward after that. Like, I felt like it just went too far to a certain degree. It just kind of went too far. And I think Josh felt that way too.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. So then after that, Sarah and Gigi argued about the challenge, about how, oh, you almost dropped me on my head, blah, 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 rah, wah, wah. I don't know. It just seemed like more, drama they're trying to push for the reality part of the show. Any thoughts on that?
Nope. I have nothing. No words. I literally didn't even write anything for it. I put Gigi and Sarah and left it at that.
And next, oh my God, they actually showed them working out in a gym. What? I didn't think they actually did anything in Tough Enough except have drama and one challenge and learn a move. Like, that's it. But that was kind of cool, just seeing them work out in the gym a little bit. Kind of, it was more, again, focused on, ZZ and being lazy and, I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
I felt like ZZ looked like he was working hard, and I thought that was a good thing. And like at the end when they were grilling them and talking about how much he was training, he was like, well, Josh has, all this sweat on him. I don't even remember who said it, but he was like, Josh has all this sweat on him. And then, but ZZ doesn't have a drop of sweat on him. And I'm like, but people don't always like ooze sweat when they work out. I know when I work out, like I don't sweat a ton. Like I don't, like my shirt isn't drenched after I work out, where someone beside me could do the exact same thing and be drenched. So like I don't like that either. I feel like they're just trying too hard to make ZZ look lazy. And then the pep talk thing was weird too, because I can't remember if this was on Tough Talk or during the grilling, but Josh's pep talk when he did the pep talk was positive, but when they came back to it and Josh was talking about it, he was kind of negative about it. Like he was saying it like he was trying to. It was just negative to me. Like it was so different from what I saw on the show, and I'm like, I'm so confused. I don't know. But I think they're trying too hard to make ZZ look lazy, and I'm like, to me it looks like ZZ's trying, but you never know. They don't show enough of this stuff anyway for us to know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They need to fix this for the next season. They really do. Let us see more of them actually working. You know. So next we get challenge number 2. Again, teamwork, like I said. Featuring the primetime players. Have no idea what the point of having the primetime players here was, because they didn't do anything. Like, they were just there, I guess, because they're a tag team, teamwork, whatever. But still, I don't know. So in this challenge, as a team, they had to. There was 2 teams. They had to enter a mock burning building, kind of that they use to train firefighters. Put out a fire and rescue a dummy together. So first we had Tanner, ZZ, Chelsea, and Amanda, who did very well. ZZ apparently has prior experience as a volunteer firefighter, so that really helped them a lot. They finished in 12 minutes and 2 seconds, which was pretty good. Team 2 was Josh, Sarah, and Gigi. They were just really slow. Josh did everything. They finished in 14 minutes to 49 seconds. Any thoughts on this challenge?
I like that he had experience. I thought that was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to see him kind of lead the pack a little bit. We don't always see him lead the pack in a lot of these things, and this was kind of a good one to see him lead the pack. I loved his like little pull the hose, and I'm pulling the hose, and I'm pulling the hose, and I'm pulling the hose little thing he was doing there. I thought that was pretty funny. On the other side, Josh was doing everything, everything, like pretty much anything you think of, Josh was doing it. And then it looked like Sarah and Gigi weren't really working well together in this one. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of nice to see ZZ actually, be put in a position where he can like thrive, where he's had some experience.
Yeah, that was nice to actually see him in a positive light, I guess. So next, back in the barracks again, Tanner and Josh talked to ZZ about basically asking him if he thinks he's in the bottom 3. I didn't really write too much about this. Again, so much focus on ZZ in this episode, all negative. They didn't build up the fact that, he did really well in the second challenge. They didn't build up anything like that, which kind of upset me. Any thoughts on them talking to him?
Not really. From what I've gathered, there's a report out that WWE doesn't really like ZZ, and they're trying to get him off the show. So they're trying to make it look like he's doing worse than he is. I guess with their editing style and stuff like that, to kind of make it seem that way. It's just a report. It's a rumor, so you never know if it's actually true. But I don't know. It seems like it's true considering the way they're portraying him over at least the past couple of weeks. But nothing really. Just another thing that I don't really care about.
Yeah, I mean, I love ZZ, but I could see it both ways. Like, he would be a fun character, but I feel like he would be a little bit too one-dimensional. Like, I don't think he could expand on any other. You couldn't, like, you would set him up as one character, as like that, hillbilly, swamp, whatever type character. But I feel like you couldn't then, repackage him as anything else, because that's just him.
My question is though, He's so young right now. I feel like maybe you could, but maybe not right now. Because right now, he is just who he is. I feel like maybe like some years from now, maybe they could, because just because he is so young right now. And sometimes it takes a lot of getting used to trying to be someone else or be another character.
Yeah. So next, we get some more forced drama with Chelsea and Amanda. Yay with the forced drama. I have nothing to say about this. Do you have anything to say about this?
Um, you know, Not really. They were just fighting about what, not being pretty or something. I don't even remember what it was about. I was just like, this can stop now. Thanks. I already don't like Amanda, and then she's like pandering like like she's the prettiest girl in the world, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So before we get to the next to my favorite part of the show, I just have to say I'm glad next week is DJ's episode because John Cena's on it, and I would just anyway. It's that time. It is that time. It is grill time, baby. Love this part. So first we get the Miz. The Miz tells Amanda that basically him saying she was hot wasn't meant to give her a big head, but he feels like he's created a monster, so he's basically going to be putting her in the bottom three. He also asks Josh why he's motivating ZZ. He basically says it's his natural dad instinct, which is weird because no. And then, like you said earlier, he kind of completely changed and was really negative about ZZ, and it was kind of confusing. I think that was just for the judges and for the cameras. I don't know. But next, Paige basically yells at Chelsea for trying to oversell and make Amanda look bad, which I agreed with. She did kind of make him. I don't like Amanda, but she did kind of make Amanda look bad. I felt like even after the judges told her to stop, she still continued to sell and oversell. And Daniel, was the nicest out of the three. Says that Gigi was overreacting about Sarah almost dropping her on her head. Just the fact that he's been in the situation where he's been and dropped on his head. He has neck issues, things like that. He basically says that there's a lot scarier things than just a slam, and that's basically what it was, just a slam. So she needs to kind of figure out if this is right for her. If she's going to be afraid of just a slam, maybe this isn't right for her. You know what I mean? Any thoughts on the grill this week?
It was better than it's been in past weeks. I feel like it. I don't know. I agree with a lot of the points with even the Chelsea thing. With Paige thing, she's got to kind of come down to her level. If you do think you're better than her, you got to come down and help her out. Um, the whole letting the pretty go to her head. I think Amanda did do that this time. I already talked about the Josh thing, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Gigi was kind of overselling what was going on a little bit. This was kind of a show about ZZ and a show about selling, which was interesting. But I mean, I think they all had valid points. I have nothing to really disagree with.
Yeah. So, next we find out the bottom three for this week. First of all, Daniel puts Gigi in the bottom three. Paige, yeah, you gotta leave my girl alone, man. She put Sarah in the bottom three again. Come on now. Anyway, The Miz actually changed his mind and put Chelsea in the bottom three. This, to me, seems specifically staged to kind of make the male to female ratio equal. Because there's 3 guys and there was 4 girls, so it just seemed way too staged for me. I was like, no, come on now. But any thoughts on the bottom 3? Do you agree, disagree? Anything you would have changed or?
The bottom 3, it was about right. I feel like they were trying to even it out now thinking about it in hindsight. Because if this whole episode was about how ZZ was lazy, why was ZZ not in the bottom 3? As much as I love the guy, as much as he's a lovable fella and all, why wasn't he in the bottom 3 then if that was such an issue? I felt like Sarah Lee was kind of just thrown in there just to be thrown in there. Because, she didn't really do anything wrong besides, almost dropping Gigi on her head, Other than that, she didn't really do anything wrong this week. She was doing actually pretty good this week. But yeah, I don't really know about this bottom 3. It wasn't really a difficult decision for who I wanted to go home this week. Obviously, I've been riding with Gigi since week 2 or week 1, I think it was, and then Sarah Lee's been about the same for me. So it wasn't a surprise who I wanted to go home personally, who I voted for multiple times, 6 times.
Yeah. And as for Chelsea or Sarah being in the bottom 3, I mean, there was kind of an etiquette thing that they, talked about how she didn't even apologize. But yes, it is an etiquette thing that you should automatically know, that you apologize if you accidentally or almost hurt somebody or accidentally hurt somebody. But I feel like also that's something that you learn coming up in the business. You learn that going through, the indies and whatever. She hasn't really done that. So she hasn't, I'm not saying it's okay that she didn't apologize, but, you can kind of take it both ways, I feel like.
She's your girl and you're going to defend her. I see how it is.
Yeah, she is. I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to defend her. Anyway. And with another wow moment, Paige used her save on Gigi. Why?
She's the freaking best. So
no,
why?
No. Sarah's the best. Just period. Done. I'm not even going to ask your thoughts on the save because I know you're all happy about that because you girls saved. So the elimination, drum roll please. We need to get effects for this show. I don't know. Chelsea. This I didn't like Chelsea from the moment she came into the show, so I wasn't really upset, but it was kind of surprising. She's only been there for a couple weeks now. I'm not upset and I'm not, super happy about it. I'm just kind of indifferent on it. Any thoughts on the elimination?
Yeah. When I look at it, Chelsea wasn't someone I've been drawn to. I couldn't gravitate towards her for some reason. I liked her. I thought I liked her more than Amanda. Oh, and I've had 6 weeks or 7 weeks to gravitate towards Amanda, and I still haven't done it yet. So I wanted Amanda to go home this week. I did. I was like, please, Miz, please, can you put her in the bottom 3, please? Then he changed his mind. I was like, dang, on it. I was really upset because I just can't deal with Amanda. But as far as Chelsea going home, like I said, I couldn't really connect with her in any way. I didn't feel like there was nothing that was making me yes, I want her to stay. She had experience, but if she has experience, she'll find a way to get back in the business, with obviously with my girl Gigi getting the save. Obviously, I was hype because she would have got eliminated to save, and I would have been sad. So fans, you better start liking that girl. Have you seen her? In the words of the Miz, she's hot. She's got the diva appeal. No, 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 but really though, like I don't know. And one thing about that whole like she's hot thing, that I after thinking about it, I'm like, well, then again, if you look at WWE and what they've been trying to kind of promote their Divas division as, now they're promoting them always, good wrestlers. But I've never seen a WWE diva look horrible. If you think about it, I mean, even who was it, Karma? Is that what they called her back in the day? I mean, even she didn't. I mean,
Have
she
you
was like
seen Dana
brutal.
Brooke?
Dana Brooke is not that. I mean, that could be much worse than Dana Brooke, even though you hate her. But yeah, like to a certain degree, that's kind of what appeals to the male casual fan too, and to the male normal fan. Like, I mean, I feel like Casey and I would both agree that the majority of the divas in WWE right now, in TNA, and wherever they may be, are probably attractive in some way. That's not everything, don't get me wrong, but that kind of is an appeal, to being a women's wrestler, along with having some sort of skill to it. But that's just my personal opinion. Just me.
I mean, I can agree with that, and I think to an extent that is the same with the male superstars too, especially the top guys. You have John Cena, who's been, he. I'll admit he's a good-looking man. You have Seth Rollins, who is, the champ right now, good-looking guy. Most of the top guys generally are, good-looking guys. There's very few kind of ugly, top guys.
Michael Tarver. Oh, he wasn't top guy. Sorry. I just have this hatred for that man.
We're gonna have a video just dedicated to people we hate. It's just gonna be Michael Tarver and John Cena, just us ranting about. Anyway, and I also wanted to talk a little bit about how we've had some surprising eliminations, and I'm wondering, what are they gonna do now that if, like you said, if Chelsea has had his prior training in wrestling, and Mata, he had something. So, I mean, are they gonna continue to try to get into WWE?
Yes.
Are they gonna go elsewhere? I mean, there's other places they could go. They could go to, Ring of Honor has the Ring of Honor dojo. There's a bunch of a lot of places nowadays. A lot of companies have their own kind of training center as well. So I mean, there's a bunch of places they could still go, and I feel like they could do probably better than they would in WWE.
And I actually heard that Patrick was offered a contract like as soon as he got eliminated from the show from WWE. But from what I heard, it's either I know it's either like not like I can't remember what the reason was. It was either like not true, or he couldn't do it because he didn't have the funds to actually move to Florida and train and stuff like that. He didn't have the money to move to Florida, and I guess WWE's not pouring that much money into his pocket to develop, But I don't know. I feel like, but if that was his dream, he would make a way to do that. So that kind of puts a nail in the rumor that maybe it is just a false rumor, because I feel like Patrick was a passionate guy, and if that was true, it seems like he would have made the sacrifices he needed to make to move to Florida.
But even if he won Tough Enough, he would still have to make the money to move to Florida. Yes, they're winning whatever $250,000, whatever contract. But they're not getting all that money at once so they can buy whatever they want. It's a contract. It's it's the same as like an NFL contract. You get the contract for however many years it's set. You're not just going to get that money all in one lump sum. You get it over the period that you are contracted. So he would still have to make the money to, move out to Orlando to train. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I don't know. But I guess we'll see what happens with these guys. Hopefully, I mean, I would like to see some of them still, make it in wrestling. My girl from the beginning, who had to. We're not talking about her though.
And we've seen people get chances before in other companies. If you look at Lucha Underground, for example, Eva Lise and Martin from the 2011 season, both of them they're wrestling on Lucha Underground now. I think Eva Lise is actually a trios champion, so that's pretty cool. She's getting her chances, which is really cool. So I mean, like, there's obviously other chances and a lot more chances now with development of these other companies too. So WWE's not the end all be all. It may be where you want to be, when it's all said and done, but it's not necessarily where you have to start out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot better companies that you could be in. Just learning wrestling better, and learning just look at guys like we've said, like Kevin Owens, guys like Sami Zayn, guys like Sami Callihan, just all those guys that came from the indies and learned from Ring of Honor, learned from New Japan, learned from PWG. I feel like they're better off than most of the guys who just came up from WWE. Because WWE is so, if you think about it, compared to all those other companies, they're so kind of one-dimensional if you really think about it. But anyway, that will probably be another video that we do. We come up with videos inside videos, and then we make other videos. So why aren't you subscribed to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast? Is why I would never know. You should be. And I mean, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. We got SummerSlam coming up. We got TakeOver coming up. We got Stone Cold Podcast coming up. We got football season coming up. We got we'll probably be doing a video about NFL up soon, because there's been some news in the NFL world. If you're a Texans fan, I'm sorry. I apologize. I feel bad for you. But yeah, so we got a lot of stuff coming up. So you need to subscribe, get your friends to subscribe, get your grandma to subscribe, get her friends to subscribe, get your mama to subscribe, your cousin, your daddy, I don't know, whoever is the guy next to you on the bus right now, get him to subscribe, and that we're done. We are done with this video. We will see you on the next video, which should be the Stone Cold Podcast tomorrow. Yeah. So we will see you there. Bye.